Hey guys, it's McLeans Diecast here, and today I've got a review on my 1/50th scale Yanmar SV60 manufactured by Ros. This model is a little harder to find in North America. You can find them on eBay, or at least that's where I got mine, for a price point of about $50. This model is based off of a European production of the mini excavator, so this actual machine is not available in North America, which would explain the lack of availability for the scale model. But nonetheless, we will get started in this review with the functionality. So here's a look at the packaging that the model comes in. It's a somewhat plain black looking box here on the front with a big window. Has the Yanmar logo there. Of course, the model is held firmly within two plastic formers that you will have to separate upon arrival. On the top of the box you can see yanmarconstruction.eu, web address, and the SV60 logo. You come around to the back of the box and you see a nice pretty picture of a Yanmar SV60 with a tilt rotator in use somewhere in Europe. And on the sides you also have a picture of the real machine, and on the bottom you can see that there are different languages with warnings such as ages 14 and up, small parts, and they are made accurately to scale with approved drawings by the manufacturer. And it has information on Ros, where they're located in Italy, and some other information. So that's pretty much the box, and we'll move on to the review. So to start off this review, we'll start by looking at the functionality of the model. Start off with the boom functions here. Boom does raise up to a nice height. The stick extends out nicely for a good amount of reach. Now, of course, if you're looking at the digging depth, it is alright, a couple inches. But for a mini excavator, it can't complain. The boom, of course, and stick do curl up nice and tight for a transport configuration. And we'll raise the boom back up, and we'll look at one of the special functions of this model that I'm not really a big fan of. Now you see the bucket here tilts side to side, about 45 degrees, which I'm not a big fan of it on this particular bucket, but I mean, it is what it is. Now the bucket does not curl back very much because of this tilt mechanism, nor does it curl forward a whole lot, so that is a detracting point on the model. I really wish they would have gone with just a standard bucket, but it is what it is. Now, of course, as with every mini excavator, or most mini excavators, the boom does swing side to side. It swings more to the left than to the right, but it does have that functionality. Now, you can see here the blade does raise, and it lowers a little bit. Not a great range of movement, but it does feature a working cylinder. So, see the tracks, they don't really want to roll without coming off of the idlers, so that is something to look for if you want something that's going to roll around. But if you're just going to leave it on a shelf, I think the tracks look nice, and I don't really see them needing to function. Now, of course, with every excavator, it does rotate with 360 degrees nicely. So yeah, so that's pretty much the functionality of the model. All the movements are pretty good except for the bucket. That's where it does have some drawbacks. So we'll move on to the next phase of the review. And to start off on the detail portion of the review, we'll look at the rear end of the machine. You can see here that you've got the Yanmar logo, nice decal on the counterweight. You can also see some warning graphics on the back of the counterweight. These are nice little added details on a small model. You can see the Yanmar emblem there on the back of the counterweight, or the engine compartment. Nice small decal. There are a few small reflectors decals there. You can see them, they're red, along with some bolt detailing in the counterweight. You move on around, you can see some decals printed inside of cast-in engine grates, or grates for the radiator grill. You can see some more bolts cast into the side of the machine. Got a nice SV60 decal on the side. Continue to go around. You can see warning graphics here on the undercarriage, along with bolt details for the bottom rollers. You can see there is some nice detail on the drive sprocket. And up here you can tell one of the defects on my model is that this plastic piece does not go flush with the diecast like it should, and I'm sure I could fix that if I disassemble it, but I normally display it with the cab side facing the outside of my shelves, so it doesn't really bother me too much. Now, this model is put together with big silver screws. They're not overly large, but they are kind of a detraction. I would have liked to have seen them painted yellow, but it is nice that with the screws you can take off the bucket and replace it with another attachment if I should choose. Now, continuing on, you can see that there is a cylinder here at the boom pivot point. You can see hydraulic lines running to both the boom lift cylinder and to the side of the boom, where they then travel up to the top of the boom, and one goes on either side. Now, there are no hydraulic lines going to this cylinder, but there are some going to this cylinder down here, as well as auxiliaries going to the tilt bucket. That is a nice detail on this model that you don't see on a lot of mini excavators. They are plastic lines back here, and then they transition into rubber right here when the color changes from silver to gray. Now, moving forward with the boom, you'll also see more warning graphics, Yanmar logos, and some other little cast-in details in the boom, but nothing overly complicated. The bucket is a pretty simple piece with some wear plating on the bottom and some teeth, and no real detail on the tilt coupler. You can see the hydraulic auxiliary lines again. They should run to the bucket, but that is another defect on my model that I have not gotten around to fixing yet. We come back to this side. Boom is pretty much the same, except the hydraulic lines run over to the other side and down. They don't come down this side of the model. You can see the articulation point again, as well as just some bolt detailing in the SV60 decal. Moving into the cab, you can see it a little better. There are door latch details and hinge details cast into the cab. You can see handrail on the inside of the cab and a plastic handrail on the outside of the cab. Now, all of the mirrors do have actual silvered surfaces, like semi-reflective surfaces, which is a nice detail. You can kind of see it there on camera. There is one on both sides, or two on this side of the cab and one on this side. Now, there is also a amber warning beacon on the top of the cab, which is a nice transparent piece. You look at the top of the cab, it's pretty simple with a window on the top, and we'll get the boom out of the way here. So up here you can see there is some nice detail inside the cab with the joysticks and the track levers, along with the seat, which is highlighted in black compared to the rest of the gray interior. You also have a small Yanmar decal here on the front, along with some little grills that are cast into the surface here. You can see the tracks have a nice tread pattern, and the blade is a fairly simple piece, but it does have a blade guard with some bolt head detailing. Overall, this is a nice, high-quality model. Lots of little details and things. But as a mini excavator for a price point of about $50 to $60, it is, in my opinion, worth the value if you are looking for a model like this. Now, it does have its detractions, but all models do. It is a nice medium-sized excavator, bigger than the Bobcat E35 and smaller than the Caterpillar 308s. So it is a nice addition to any collection of compact equipment. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you'd like to see more reviews, let me know. Now, this one may be a little rough. I'm still working on getting a better setup, backdrop, and lighting. So hopefully the lighting was okay for you guys. I'm working on something, getting a better setup. But just for now, I wanted to try another review, or try a review with this lighting setup. So yeah, thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed.